This week on True Bloods, Deebs and I lament our incredibly bad forward entry and poor efficiency all over the ground.
It's a big week this week, though. Marn Grook, SCG, Friday night, rock up, faithful. Listen to the potty, like and subscribe.
Jeez, this is the most one-eyed podcast.
It's what we're here to do. There is only one side in this competition. It's game-changing.
It's absolutely game-changing, Deeble.
Riddle me that, Mads.
Yeah, riddle me that, Deeble.
This is True Bloods, the number one independent Sydney Swans fan podcast. And we are back in the AFL Today Studio to talk about the disappointing loss to the Dons and the upcoming clash against the Blues on Friday night. Joined as always to my left, Big Clarko. How are you, mate? Yeah, it's an exhale.
It's an exhale. You just don't love losing to the Dons.
It doesn't
happen often.
Too often.
It doesn't happen often. But I live in here and now, Deeps.
Yes.
And it's frustrating.
It is.
It's very, very frustrating.
And that's what the game was on the weekend.
Well, it's not losing. I've always been very, very clear about this, Deeps. It's not losing. It's the way we've been losing.
Yeah.
You know.
It's an interesting one.
Who lost on the weekend? Gold Coast lost. Did they lose on the weekend? No, they won.
No, they won. They beat the Dogs.
Did the Dogs lose any fans?
No,
because they went right to the wire.
Yeah.
Did Geelong lose any fans against GWS?
No.
They played their heart out.
Yeah.
We played 9 minutes of football.
9 minutes of footy.
9 minutes of footy.
It's so unique to us, though, isn't it? This thing where we're just missing from the start. And look, I want to pull this apart a little bit, Mads.
I think we have to. We owe it to the faithful to pull it apart.
We do, but I do think that we all are harping on the negative aspects of what's going on, right? When we break down that first quarter, we played some pretty good footy, bar the entries inside 50. That was you could narrow it down to the ball going inside 50. It was 17 inside 50s to 8 or whatever. They were able to put 3 goals on the scoreboard, and we kicked the 1-goal one, which just shows the absolute abysmal footy going inside that 50. So that there's something all right in your game.
It was clear at sort of, halftime, and I think even Matt Donnelly said in one of the chats.
Yeah.
He said, "Hot take, we're playing better footy."
Yeah.
And I'm like, geez, there's something to that. They were just being very, very efficient going forward, and we were anything but efficient. What were we in terms of inside 50? We kicked all up, and we'll get back to the first quarter, but all up, we kicked 8 goals from 63 entries.
Yeah,
that's cooked.
It's cooked, mate.
It's absolutely cooked.
It's the best way to put it. It's you can put it on the barbecue when that thing's done. That's well done. That is out the window. That is
the Cape Grim.
The Cape Grim. Like, who goes into the Rising Sun and orders the Cape Grim ribeye extra well done? Because that's what's going on with our efficiency going forward.
Who goes in of a Sunday afternoon and orders a Cape Grim ribeye well done? Not us, Deebs.
Not us. But yeah, mate, it was even more frustrating. I didn't get to the game, mate. I went down with a 48-hour virus, and that's when I'm crook, when I'm cancelling my fresh fade that's booked in. That's one thing I do not miss. And seeing the mighty Schwannies win, lose or draw, rock up for the boys.
Not only that, you handballed some Medallion Club tickets off to the boys.
I've got to look after my boys.
You have to.
Even if I'm not there, I'll always look after my boys.
There were Medallion Club seats out there for someone. It just wasn't you,
Just
Deebs.
wasn't me, unfortunately. But it did give me you can't say pleasure, but I had the opportunity to watch this game from home, and I was just so angry and frustrated because everyone's sort of saying we're cooked, Swans are done, they've fallen off the cliff, when it's just not the case, I think, at all, Mads. And are we getting the results? Absolutely not. But when I have conversations with my Schwannies mates, you get talking for 10, 15 minutes about everything that's going on, and you know what's happening. It's not like we're throwing our hands up in the air saying we've got no idea what's going on and why we aren't winning games of footy consistently. I think it's pretty evident to what's going on. And what did you think of Coxie? You wouldn't have seen this, and I'm not sure if you have
Please.
at any stage, Coxie mentioned pre-game that we were going to try and hit the deep entries inside forward 50. And this is sort of talking to, the Fox footy team pre-game, maybe 25 minutes out. And then
bomb it in and get it deep into forward 50.
They're going to be attempting to get, deep entries into the forward 50.
Isn't that the same as every other week?
I don't know, but
but I mean, isn't it? That's kind of what we do every week.
It is, but like saying something like that pre-game, and then Essendon just sitting 1 or 2 behind the ball.
Yeah,
deep.
so you think think he showed his hand?
Oh, I think he did. I don't think he played a very good poker face at all.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
I just don't think that's the sort of information that needs to go out pre-game.
No, you don't need to explain what your strategy will be to beat the team that you're about to play against before the siren's gone.
Yeah, and look, it wouldn't have taken long to adjust to that
no,
anyway.
Correct, exactly.
It was pretty evident what was going on, but mate, how do we go about? Is it personnel?
Well, this is what I wanted to talk
in this forward line.
That's what I wanted to talk about. So I don't necessarily put, I guess the personnel issues that we've got down to what's happened on the weekend. I don't think that's a personnel-based issue for the most part. I do think it is in the forward line.
Yeah.
I said it last week.
You did.
We don't have a forward line. There's no forward line there. Let's be honest. We've got a B-grade forward line at best. We had a B-grade forward line, or even maybe I'm being generous, going into a grand final.
Correct.
Right? We had a C+ to B-grade forward line going into a grand final. Now it's E or F.
Correct.
And that's just reality. That's not being negative. That is just saying, okay, we've got 2 people who have predominantly been playing in the back line in our forward line.
That's right.
One who just kicked his first ever AFL goal last week.
Yeah.
Okay? So, and you take away Papley as well, you're really hampered.
Yeah.
Now, you saw Heaney, you saw Chad make their way to the goal square a couple of times. As soon as that happened, because we were right in the nice Medallion Club seats provided by
seats,
David
Mads.
Baxter, how the other half lived. Wow. We saw sort of Heaney come down after halftime. We said, that's the move.
Yeah, that's the move.
That's the move. He couldn't get our hands on the footy. Couldn't get the ball down to Heaney one-on-one. And when it did, it was a putrid entry, and Heaney did all that he could to make it salvageable.
Yeah.
Right? So the big issue here is the fact that when we get the ball, and we as we said before, I think we're in a situation where we were on top of them at parts of that game, even before the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Right? Fourth quarter was one-way traffic. But we were actually all over them. And let's be honest, they were actually entering 50 pretty averagely sometimes too. I think, Lizard and Tom McCartan combined for at least over 10 intercept marks, I think.
Yep, definitely.
So, they were just a little bit more efficient.
Yeah, and look, to the media pundits out there in the great land of Fox Footy and on your SENs,
Apparently we've fallen off like Melbourne.
That's what Jay Clark and David King went with on the weekend post-game.
See, guys, boys, bring it in. Turn up the volume.
Collective.
Turn up the volume. Kingy, Jay Clark. If we had a full team, I'd completely accept that. I would completely accept that we've fallen off, going from a grand final, albeit getting smashed, to where we are now. I'd completely accept that. But boys, once again, the media just not doing their research.
That's right.
You take any of that cattle out of any side, they're sitting down the bottom of the ladder with us.
Yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
That's right.
Do your research.
Right. And while we've got them all in the gun, Jonathan Brown comes from this big power forward mantra, right? He's like, Joel Hamling and Aaron Francis were the 45th and 46th rated players on the ground.
Of course they were.
They're not going to win too many games with this forward line. It's like, good on you, Brownie. You're telling us something that we don't know.
He split the atom.
Oh, it's absolutely crazy just how poor the media is with how they pull apart what's going on.
Yeah.
Right? And yeah, there's things in our game. Like the things that aren't good enough is conceding 6 goals to 1 in that second quarter, right?
That's right.
That's not good enough. What's not good enough? Giving away 50 metres.
And the people who talk about umpiring, I reckon most of them were there.
I think
most
6 of the 7 were there. right? And yeah, were they a bit tighter on it than normal? Yes. But after 2 of them, it's like adjust.
Yeah.
You've got to adjust. Three of them led directly to goals. What's the margin at the end of the game, right? Made certainties of a couple. You just can't afford it.
Just failing to stand on the mark properly, overstepping the mark, knocking the ball down. It's like
It's dumb stuff.
This is garden variety
And
stuff.
don't be a dumb Swan supporter and throw your hands up in the air and say, the umpires have got it in for us. We don't. No, this is undisciplined stuff from the boys. And Coxie talks about it post-game.
It's really 3 things: forward entries, discipline, and execution.
Right.
And it's been essentially the same thing, even when we've won. It's been the same thing that's made it an uncomfortable watch for the whole season.
That's right. And look, the kicking for goal is
Deplorable. Under a roof.
It's deplorable. It's
15 behind steps.
literally no excuse. No excuse. But what you can hang your hat on is I think we were the far better side in the second half.
Mhm.
I think when you can get hung up on that first half of footy and be like, we were average, it was no good. But we turned it around after halftime. We started to dominate that third quarter, and that's when you've got to get it back on the scoreboard so
Yep.
you're not chasing down, 5 goals in that last quarter. If Heaney was able to put that one through on the left, that gets us back within 18 points. Aaron Francis kicks it from 4 metres out, you're back in it.
The great Ben Andrew went down to the park to try and recreate Aaron Francis' kick. And he said it was dead set harder to miss than it was to kick a goal.
It's got 85,000 views on your TikToks, the little TikTok I made.
We've gone viral.
We've gone viral. And then, you've got stuff like Joel Hamling, right, gone down forward, trying to do a job for us, right? And he's 25 metres out on a tight angle, but not a ridiculous tight angle.
He sprays it.
It's go round the corner.
Yeah.
The percentage play. What are you doing when you're kicking in dead set in front? You're kicking a drop punt. When it's a tight angle, you either go on the check side or you're kicking the screw around the corner, right? They're the stuff that kill you when you're not a trained forward and you miss out on opportunities like that. We start to take scoreboard pressures, everything. Oh, mate, and we were coming like a freight train. And we sort of probably ran out of when it got to 5 minutes to go. I was like, we're coming here. It's like this is looking good, but when you chase down a target like that, they kill a few minutes on the clock, and it's terribly hard to win. And we talk about it all the time on this podcast, Mads. Only once this year previously, but it's that 6-goal rule. When you get outside that 6-goal margin, it's very, very hard to win.
Yep. I mean, by the same token, when they were getting their run on, the ease with which they moved through the corridor as well, we just could not. It's been prevalent all year that we just can't stop the runs teams get on us, and it's just goal after goal after goal, and just every goal makes your job so much harder. This rides home the point that the media are so wrong about this supposed fall off when we were nowhere near it from a scoreboard perspective all day, and we should have won the game.
Should have won the game.
And this is with a VFL team.
Yeah.
This is with a dead set VFL team.
Okay, I don't read too much into them, but there's a few resources out there that do predicted scores and that type of thing. Mm-hmm. They have us winning that game by 20 points. Mm-hmm. On if we kicked what we should have, we win by 20 points, Mads. It's not as if it was close. It was like when I don't care what way you slice it, right? 16 scoring shots to what was it? 16 scoring shots to 6. In the second half.
Yeah, berserk. They didn't even kick a goal in the last quarter.
Didn't kick a goal. 1 goal for the second half.
Geez, Deebs, to sort of turn it around a bit, it got very tense in there very quickly.
Yeah.
Very tense. The Essendon supporters had seen that film before.
Yes.
It was
they were
very,
all
very
expecting
tense.
it, wasn't it?
You look around because we were front row, right behind the sort of goals for our cheer squad. We were looking around and there were previously jubilous faces turned to stone for that period. And this is where guys like Justin McInerney, right? Now we've actually discussed Justin McInerney probably more than we ever have. And he kicked an important goal in the final quarter. But I just felt like there were so many other parts of the game that he could have been impactful, and his skills let him down again.
Yeah.
Which baffles me because years gone by, he's been so reliable from a skills perspective. What's my
take? It's frustrating when you back in one of your men and he just lets you down terribly. Juzzy, you owe me an apology. I went into bat for you. I had the new Slazenger ready to go, and you've just let me down a little bit. But people are saying McInerney out of form. I think that's the wrong take, right? He's not out of form. He's
getting the ball.
He's
He's
not
getting
executing his skills.
Yeah.
And that's not form to me. They're two slightly different things. But what I would say is
You'll be challenged on that, I think, but that's okay.
skills and form. So if you're let's say you're a key forward,
Mm-hmm.
you're having 17 touches, 10 grabs, 8 shots at goal, and you're kicking 2 goals, 6, are you out of form?
I'd say you're horrifically out of form.
Nah, your kicking's off.
Yeah, I'd
a
say
skill.
that's out of form. But either way,
Yeah.
he's getting the footy.
Yeah.
He's getting the footy and he's getting in the right spots and he's making the right. He's
Making the right
You can see
decisions.
where
Yeah.
you can see where the mindset is.
Yeah.
That ball drop, you could watch most of the first 11 seasons of The Simpsons, from when the ball's in his hand to when it gets to his foot. And do not get me started on the Joel. He can go back in the porridge in a minute if he does this again. When he got that ball and there was no one between him and the goals, and we were about 10 points down, he looks at the goals and turns around and goes, "There's Juzzy." Bang. It absolutely killed me. I almost threw my hat off the Medallion Club.
Oh,
Jesus.
mate,
That was the biggest killer.
yeah,
for me.
that one. But like, that's not even his ball drop, man.
No. But that was
know
more
what you're
Hamlin.
saying. I know,
That was
but
more Hamlin.
it's just like kick through the ball. You're 15 meters out, Juzzy. Kick through the ball. We go 4 points down. We've got 1 to go, boys. After that, and we win. Oh, Juzzy, I love ya, but doesn't it just kill ya? I love ya. I really do. He's a man of the pod.
Yeah, he's good.
And he would be riding this harder than all of us. So he's a
competitive beast, Deebs.
He is, mate. And I'm back. I'm not jumping off the Juzzy train. I'm choo-choo.
This is Juzzy.
This is Juzzy. I'm backing him in. But, oh, mate, it was... I've never been as frustrated as I was in that first quarter,
Yeah.
watching us enter 50 like we were.
Appalling.
And I've never been as frustrated in that last quarter, peppering the goals and not being able to get in front.
Insanity. And on top of that, we just made B graders look like they were,
mate.
Prime West Coast
You're
in sort of the mid-2000s.
It's funny. Mads and I had a bit of a discussion during the week, over the weekend, I should say, and we said, look, we were pretty neutral in this game. It's not like we said we're going to whack him and this guy's going to do this, but, one comment that I made was back Juzzy in, he's going to dominate, his kicking's going to be great. Wrong. Your one was...
Andy McGrath. Don't have to worry about Andy
him.
McGrath until he plays the game of his career.
Has 35, 950 metres gained or whatever he had.
But I mean, and this is, you can come at me. I don't care. I've got a very thick skin. But I mean, name one person, if you're really honest with yourself, did you think Andy McGrath was going to have that sort of game? I didn't. And I think if you're honest with yourself, you'd say that you didn't either.
So I don't think the Essendon faithful would have even thought that Andy McGrath could do that.
I'll tell you what, and they didn't sort of get on board with my Aaron Francis legacy game chat on the Sash last week, and understandably so, because that was far from an Aaron Francis legacy game.
Yeah. It's he's definitely fallen off execution-wise the last 2 weeks. And,
but I mean,
this is...
what do you expect?
Yeah.
He's limited. He's limited.
Yeah, but
you got
to be able to kick a goal off the goal line. You got it. Aaron, back to the drawing board this week, fella.
Our kicking efficiency's below AFL average.
Yep.
Clangers above AFL average.
Efficiency.
Goal
inside
accuracy
50.
inside 50 is 12.5%.
Oh, it's the number one part of the game that's killing us. You just got to be patient. I
Yeah.
think if we get drawn into this sexy footy, move the ball fast, and don't get me wrong, when you're streaming off half back, right, you've got to go quick, but there's time and place.
Yeah.
If there's a 4-on-1 with Aaron Francis inside your 50 as the one, it's hold it up, boys.
Yeah.
Ship it round. And the real football supporter will understand what you're doing, right? And you don't get sucked in to going fast all the time.
Correct.
Like that's what killed us in that first quarter, mate. I'm telling you, it made. I'm not sure if it came through at the ground, but mate, we were dominating, like 17 inside 50s to 8, and then we fall off the cliff in the second. 6-1. There's your ball game, right? We technically, right, haven't played 20 minutes of footy. That's we've gone to sleep,
Literally.
right, and lost the game. 6-1. There's your ball game. And it's like the majority of that game is okay. I'm not saying the whole game's acceptable and the kicking's acceptable, but you look at the sum of all parts there.
We're a big sum of all parts pod.
You take the opportunities, you win the game. It's happened 3 times this year. You've got the Port game, you've got this game, and
Gold Coast.
not exit. We would have lost that game regardless.
Sure.
And there's one game, but you saw one other that I can't think of, but even those 2 games, right? You put them in the win-loss. We're 5-4.
You're in the 8.
You're in the 8. It's not that bad.
It's not. It's still not that far off from clicking. You get some cattle back. It's just we have too many players that if they weren't fully required would not be in the team.
Yeah.
And that's again just the reality of the situation that we're in. It's just the reality. We're making the best with what we've got, but we acknowledge that those key statistics that we talked about before, efficiency inside 50, kicking efficiency, these sort of things. I mean, that it's just something that shouldn't be as bad as it was on the weekend.
Mads, I want to take us back to pre-game because I'm actually over this shit, is getting things wrong before the bounce.
Yes.
Right?
Sheldrick.
The Sheldrick Ben Patton thing, right? Sheldrick's tore it up in the 2s, ready to go. We need mids. We need midfielders.
Didn't have
tearing
an
it up,
inside mid,
right?
really.
They play Ben Patton off a calf, hasn't played any footy for 3 weeks or whatever it was. They pick him in the interesting selection to start off with, replacing Malikan, right? Patton comes off 5 minutes into the third to try get Sheldrick on. Sheldrick comes on, does a great job. He's playing this week. I got no doubt about that. But mistake number 1, pre-bounce, that selection. And then the first bounce of the day, we don't have our second key defender in Malikan out for 3 weeks, and you still see Francis and Hamling trailing down to the forward line. It's like you just know the structure's going to be off.
Yep.
And what happens in the first quarter? 17 inside 50s, 1 goal, can't get it. Stop getting things wrong before the bounce. Control the controllables. I think Coxie's gone from having his best week last week against GWS, so many tactical great moves, to one of his worst. Like, that is so bad from the coach's box, Mads. You got to control the controllables.
You do. It's the only thing in your grasp that you can make absolutely sure of. The Patton and Sheldrick thing, there's nothing that you could point to statistically that would say, hey, this is the move.
For sure. And
I don't believe there's anything.
And as we like to say, Mads, the proof of the pudding is in the eating.
That's correct.
And what happened in that forward line in the first quarter?
It was shambles.
Shambolic. But
Shambolic.
Oh.
Nice. Hey, on a positive note, Brodie Grundy.
Yes.
Has a little 1-2 goal.
Yeah.
Bang.
Yeah, he's going. He's tracking.
He's humming.
He would nearly, along with Chad, I reckon, be leading our best and fairest.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Like the last 4 or 5 weeks, votes.
Yep.
Top 3 player.
The lizard was good.
great. Intercepted like a king.
Yeah,
man.
intercepted like a king.
Yeah.
It did get hit with the bullet from a high caliber sniper rifle that looked like Zach Barrett's hand because, boy, he went down like a sack of spuds, as he does.
Do we need to talk about it? It really frustrates
Just
me,
get
man.
up.
Yeah.
Just get up.
It's
Don't lay there.
it killed us in a grand final.
Yep.
Bailey, forward, front on contact, acts like he's been killed. Strolls in, kicks a goal. Any free kick there? No. Lizard dead. One life gone. Right? Cops a glancing blow at best.
It was his sort of pinky just
this slight part of the hand. Glancing blow. Like hurt maybe, but lay down and act dead again, Lizard. I just, and it costs you, right? You've acted it up
on the ground.
We're trying to get back into this game. 5 minutes to go. It has to get dragged off for an HOI because everyone thought you were dead.
And do you know what? You saw him on the bench when they dragged him off, and he was like, "Oh, well, because you looked like you were dead."
It's got to stop, man. It's milking it. It's you understand why they do it because they're trying to win the free, and you're trying to get any advantage that you can, right?
You just got to play to the whistle, boys.
It's got to come out of the game because I think it costs you more than it wins you.
I've been cursed ever since Phoebe said their sort of unbloods-like sort of comment, and I went back at her. I said, "Come on, Phoebe." Ever since then, there's been unbloods-like performances.
Yeah.
So, shit. But I mean, look, not all's lost. Haywood cracked in. The Chad cracked in.
The Chad, yeah, very good.
Haywood was very good.
Gutsy,
Gutsy for that. Now, that was an injury.
Channel your inner Wilbur. Dislocates his shoulder, goes and tackles the guy, holding the ball, kicks the goal. Channel your inner Wilbur. That's what we've got to do. Show some toughness, Matt.
Show some bloody fight.
Channel your Wilbur. Play the clip. Oh, we need more Wilburs out there, man.
We do. And, I mean, that being said, Cleary as well, Sam Wicks, instrumental for us.
Congratulations, Wixie.
Signed a 3-year
deal.
3-year deal. Probably the most well-earned deal I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, go on, son. So good.
But Cleary, that one where he got Kako holding the ball, gone dead to rights, and then Kako grabs him and they pay it. I was puffing muffins.
Puffin
muffins.
Yeah, I haven't heard that one. That's a good one. That's one of my favourites. Puffin muffins. But you know what the umpire said? Because everyone was going nuts over it. You know what the explanation was?
What's that?
Apparently Kako attempted to kick that.
Yeah, okay.
Made an
attempt. Not the rule. That's great. Not the rule. I can make up things as well.
But I didn't see the leg move, so I don't know how it's an attempt to kick.
And even if you attempted to kick it and you didn't, that's incorrect disposal.
There you go. They're the rules. The frustration.
It was a real missed opportunity. Imagine if we had stolen it. Imagine if we had stolen it.
It'd be a different tone in here. I can tell you. It's amazing what 4 points can do for the soul, but it's I'm just not subscribing to the mantra
of the fall off.
It's a fall off when we're dead and buried, and there are so many reasons that will be proven with time that this is going to be okay.
Yep. And Jonathan,
it's like I'll be open and say it. We may run out of time this year, right? Yeah. If you're taking a bet now, it's like, do we turn it around and make finals? Yes, no. It's like, if you're a betting man, you're probably betting no, right? But that doesn't mean that it can't turn around.
Hey, never, ever, ever write us off.
Ever.
And that's never changed. You know, the game plan's changed, the list has changed, the coach has changed, but that fact has always remained the same. You can never, ever write us off. So, Jonathan Brown, I've got a sneaking suspicion that you'll be commentating our games in September. And likewise, Kingy, on first crack, when you're talking about us winning an elimination final, I just want you to note the things that you've been saying and how little research has been done up until this point.
That's right.
Let's go and check out the socials. Do you know what I missed, Deebs?
What's that, Mads?
I miss those authentic American-style pickles from my times in the States.
Well, Mads, don't get yourself in a pickle. Delicious are sponsoring the pod this month. They are a proudly family-owned and run business committed to bringing you the best-tasting pickles for your picnic, platters, and pantries. The owner, Jimmy, is a huge Bloods guy.
Yeah, but are they Australian-made ingredients, Deebs?
Yes, Mads.
Are they seriously crunchy?
Absolutely, Mads.
Are they sneakily healthy and simply delicious?
Yes, they are.
Well, Deebs, that sounds bloody sensational. Head on over to delicious.com.au and get yourself some pickles. Welcome back to True Bloods.
The Mighty Bloods.
The mighty
sitting
Schwannies.
3-6 on the same amount of wins as the
Richmond.
Richmond Tigers,
Yeah.
who weren't going to win a game this year.
The mighty blood-stained Angels. Same wins as Richmond.
Yeah, nice.
Beautiful.
When you're feeling really bad about yourself, think about that one too.
It's not ideal, but as we say, not all hope is lost.
No, it's really not.
We just need some things to click, a little bit of leadership, a little bit of Bloods culture,
Yeah.
and we're going to be fine. We're going to be
Yeah.
fine. Hey, we've brought back the voice recordings.
Yeah, it's great. They're back, Mads.
They're back, and I think
New
it's
system.
it's a key part of this pod. We love the faithful. Absolutely love the
We
faithful.
do.
And we love hearing from the faithful. And it's a big part. It's always been a big part of the pod.
Yeah.
I think it's something that we sort of brought into the fore when it comes to fan podcasts. I think
Yeah.
we definitely did it the best because of the content that you guys provided. And now we've found a much easier way to get your voice notes through because it was a genuine shit fight the way we were doing it.
That's right.
It was chaotic.
Yeah, we'll try and put out a link or two a week. When we want to comment, we'll post a link.
Yeah.
But there will be a thing in the link tree, like leave a voice note, click on the link, it's easy as comes through to us. So it's not going to be on your socials anymore via your DM. It's going to be via the link in the link tree.
Yep.
So that's a little bit of a change, Mads. But as soon as we put the link up yesterday, we had that. They flew through Madison Club.
Oh, yeah.
So many messages. It was unbelievable. And it was Sinead to kick us off.
Wow.
Let's hear from Sinead here.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'd just like to point out that it would be really great to get our captain Millsy back. It seems that they keep saying 2 to 3 weeks and then it comes around and then it's another 2 to 3 weeks.
That's right.
I find it would be really great for the team, even just to have the captain back. It would help with a lot of things on the ground, not necessarily in Millsy's particular position, but just to show some leadership on the ground. I'm also counting down the days for the Errol return.
That's right.
This is very exciting, and it should be less than 40 days now, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
But who's counting?
It is the week after the bye, and I'll fly up to Sydney to watch the game from Melbourne. This will be a sold-out affair.
Yeah, love that.
We'd have to get there.
Well, yeah.
We'd have to get
Errol's
there.
return game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully he comes out
we
on a
would
horse.
dress up. Oh,
Yeah.
you would dress up as the horse, and then I'll be Errol coming over the hill.
I don't know if I can
Like,
carry you, mate.
from-
You've
from-
been shifting a bit of tin recently. I don't know.
from the Great Crusades.
Yeah.
You know, sunlight over the back, like the great saviour, Errol Goulden.
Deebs, that's not historically accurate.
I know. But yeah, we're a chance.
God, we have to get up there.
That's it. And big news with Millsy today.
Huge.
So
now,
Sinead-
talk us through the plantar fasciitis product that you've been.
Yeah. So, plantar fascia runs here at Madison Club.
Dr. Deebles.
That's right. And I saw this great little device that they're selling, in your sponsored ads on Instagram. And I made a bit of a gag to a few mates, like, send this up to Millsy. And, I didn't actually send it to him, Faithful, but it was good for the gag. And, he's back for a test this week. How good?
How good. How bloody good.
It's,
but do you agree with what Sinead says? I subscribe to the fact that the mere presence of someone of that caliber, of that ilk, Deeps,
Yes.
would be game changing in many ways.
It's game
It's
changing.
absolutely game changing.
Deeble. Yes, of course, Mads. But when you bring him back, yes, skipper, I think it's going to make a difference on field, big time.
He'd come through twos. I
Yeah,
think.
there's no doubt. He's playing VFL pre-game at the SCG 3:30 in the afternoon.
Get there.
Yeah, I couldn't see him playing AFL.
Do you
Could
see him playing mid or back?
He's
Question
got to
without
start.
notice.
He's got to start at halfback. I think.
I think so.
I think so, and a few other magnets move around, and someone's going to have to go in. It makes selection interesting. It hasn't been available for a while, but yeah, you would have to say he's at least 2 or 3 weeks away in the twos. Needs a run. We've got big Rommers from Wyonga.
Boys, Rommers from Wyonga on the Central Coast here. Look, you guys love inviting people to the party, and I've got an invite for the party this week. I want to invite every single one of the 23 players who are selected this week. This is one of the biggest games of our season. Marnbrook at the SCG.
That's right.
Friday night under lights.
That's right.
Against the Blue Baggers. We love our Friday nights at home. We need the 4 points so bad. So every single one of you, get to the party, bring your doozies, and we'll have a freaking good night. Let's go, boy.
Yeah.
Go, boys.
Go, boys, on your Rommers. See? Morale. We're a big morale pod here,
Huge
Mads.
morale pod.
Rommers just lifting morale in the studio here. Love to
Key.
see it.
Takes a village, faithful.
It does. This is coming through from Anonymous. Do we play this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mate, we live life
But-
on the edge here.
You tell us your name next time.
Remember the rules, faithful. Remember the rules. Must mention a name and where you're from. E.g., Saundo, Pennant Hills, right?
Rommers, Wyonga.
Wyonga, you know? Ruthie, Caulfield, you know? All your staples. Your staples of the faithful. Because next week, if you don't say where you're from, you're not getting played. All right? Up the bloods now. All right, let's go. Anonymous, here we go.
Hi, Mads. Hi, Deebs. It's Winky from Wollongong.
Wiki.
For mine,
For yours.
I think this is just a season of learning. We've got a lot of injuries. Our efficiencies are down, kicking efficiency. And I think that comes with all the kids we're being played. As Mads says, we're giving the kids a run.
That's right.
I think hold tight. People will come back in. And I think our team is still there. We can still do this. Stick fat, faithful.
That's right. Winky.
Well, we don't have any pending drug issues with any of our players. We don't have any players in court. It's all okay.
Our CEO is allowed to come to our club when he's appointed. Yep.
Yeah, our CEO did not tell his former employer that he'd gotten another job. Very stable at the board, even the board.
Even
Deebs.
the board, Mads.
So, the talk that there's a fall off and that we need to rebuild, geez, it's just mind blowing.
It
It is mind blowing.
For sure. Big Wazza. Here we go. Love Wazza.
Yeah, he's a good fella.
Well, look who's back. That's right, the voicey has risen from the dead, like a 2005 Barry Hall chess mark. Strong, loud, and absolutely necessary. We love the social engagement. Long-time listener, serial contributor, Wazza here from Oran Park, guys.
Yes.
Gotta say, loving the new show format. Tight, sharp, and full of more takes than Chad Warner has bounce attempts. And let's be honest, Swannies aren't playing the greatest footy. But you know what? I'm sticking fat on the Swannies. There's plenty of time to get this season back on track. We just need a couple of wins, crack into the 8, fueled by Bloods footy, and maybe 40-3 from the Chad. Up the potty.
Yes,
That'd be beautiful.
It would be 40-3. I'll love it. Be real nice. Big Brad Martin. Here we go.
Bradley.
Braddles. Boys.
Well, boys.
Are we not fit enough that we can't settle to kick straight?
Mm.
I'm not sure what it is.
Mm.
But we'll just keep on fronting up every week.
I put in.
And hopefully it all comes together.
That's right, Braddles. Very good. Full of gusto there,
We
Braddles.
put in till there's nothing left to put.
Do you love playing footy? All right, and this Jimmy, a.k.a. Junior Burger.
Junior, yeah, he's given himself a nickname.
Yeah, self-appointed. I like a self-appointed nickname.
It's good. It shows bravado.
And here, so the last voice, here we go.
G'day, Mads. G'day, Deeble. Thanks for your excellent work. I just wanted to reflect on an amazing moment back in 2015 when I still lived in the...
Sorry, I'll just stop it there. Well, I'll go with the Ask the Faithful question.
Sure.
So go, Ask the Faithful. Is Sir Doug... It is... Ian, sorry, I can't even talk.
Oh, boy.
In Sir Doug Nicholls' round this week, we host the Blues for Marngrook at the SCG Friday night.
Yes.
What's your favourite moment from a past Indigenous star? We've had some rippers pull on the red and white. Goodsy and Jets have a highlight reel longer than Clarko's arm. Best answers to be featured on the potty. P.S. W's in the chat for the jumper from Biangle artist Jordan Adler.
W's in the chat.
W's in the chat. It's a ripping jumper.
It is. It's a phenomenal jumper.
It is.
You know, some of them I love, some of them I'm like, yeah. That is a genuinely ripping jumper.
Would you say it slaps?
I would say it slaps. It's just going through my Rolodex of Gen Z
Yeah,
sort of
what else you got
sayings.
for me?
Oh, it's giving that it's a fucking good jumper, Deebs.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Absolutely right.
All right, we'll hear from you.
Alessi, how was that? Yeah, any other words, right?
Go on with the chlorophyll. Junior Burger.
The city, and I went to a game where we were encouraged to stand with Adam Goodes, turn our back on racism before the game started. I remember there were 37 still images that were flashed up on the screen just before the bounce to reflect Goodsy's Guernsey number. And then the game started. It was a game against Adelaide Crows. And within, I don't know, the first minute or two, Lewis Jetta grabbed the ball and went for a run and kicked a goal and did a dance. And geez, I mean, the crowd was already at fever pitch after that, those 37 shots before the game even started. But then to have the game open up like that was just, you couldn't have scripted it really. And even though it was a terrible time for Goods and for the club and for AFL generally, that was just a lovely little positive moment. So I think it's going to be pretty tough to beat for mine.
For yours.
And I probably should have mentioned at the top of this, it's Junior Burger dialing in from Cairns where I live these days.
Junior Burger.
Thanks, fellas.
Well done.
Thanks
Hey, just a quick couple ones. Have you ever seen the AFL in a weaker position than the Adam Goodes booing saga? Have you ever seen them be more insipid and gutless in your born days, Deebs?
No, I
It was
haven't.
pathetic.
I haven't, but I think a lot of people have taken a lot of lessons. And unfortunately, Goodsy was the one who had to cop a lot of the brunt of trying to set an example and educate people.
Do you know what was second to that?
What's that?
The wussy Carlton supporter base who got scared of Adam throwing an invisible spear at
That's
them.
right. That's
So
right.
I hope you get the lot, you dogs, and I hope we absolutely pants you this week because that was absurd.
That was absurd.
Oh, no, it's not an invisible spear. It's scary. It's intimidating. God. Get a grip.
Get a grip. Favorite Goodsy moment?
Favorite Goodsy moment. When he was on one leg is the obvious one.
Yeah.
It's the obvious one.
It's phenomenal. That's like Goodsy's career comes down to a moment.
Yeah, correct.
Cometh the moment. Come off
the
a legend.
champion.
Oh, the champion. All right. Oh, jeez.
God, he's falling apart. He took a number of screamers at the Gabba, which was always good. He always did a lot of good work at the Gabba.
Yeah.
I'm talking early 2000s, mid 2000s, did a lot of good work at the Gabba. When he was rucking, that was sensational. He was a true unicorn of a football player. He could do literally anything.
Although we didn't get the result on the day, 06 Granny bursting out of the middle, start of the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
We're behind. We're trucking back into it. Like Goodsy, like kicking snags like that. Oh, that was the stuff we loved.
God, to have him now would just be delightful.
Delightful. Now, if you jump over onto your Facebooks, we might get some responses from the faithful. How can we forget the great Buddy Franklin as well? It's funny. It's We've got to start tying Buddy to one of the great Indigenous players of our footy
Correct.
club.
Yes.
We see him as a champion, but I think we've got to start putting him into that Indigenous fold as well. Shivy goes with Buddy 1000s. Will never happen again. Everyone running onto the ground.
It was phenomenal.
The great man being carried off while surrounded by thousands. Unforgettable.
Wasn't
Wasn't that a night out, Mads?
Deebs, it was one of the best nights of my life, mate.
It was.
And I'm glad to have done it with you, sir.
Mate, fantastic. One of the many great times we've had.
Linda Dyer will always be Jets' run in the 2012 prelim against Collingwood. It's such a vivid memory for me of a great night. I was devastated when he went back to WA. So was I, and that particular game was one of the great Swans moments. You know, was it at the end of the first quarter, or was it at halftime? I think it was the end of the first quarter.
It could have been
just a little handball out the back, and away you go. I reckon he took about 4 bounces.
Yeah, for like 120 metres of territory. But remember, like, just the context of that game. Collingwood had pumped us so often in the 2010s.
And at that stadium as well.
He just pumped us, and we're going up home prelim, like getting a grand final, and we're like, bloody hell, Collingwood again up there. And just to get a moment like that, that was unbelievable.
This is from Gavin Charles. Goodsy in the 2003 quali against Port at Amy Stadium. Playing as a ruckman, and showed the world no matter where on the ground you put him, he can tear a match to pieces with sheer athleticism. Look, that's probably about it. Stick fat. Let's stick fat, faithful.
That's it.
Get the voice notes coming through. We're going to get a dub this weekend, and I want it to be an absolute party in the voice notes.
It's a circus. When the Schwannies win, Friday night circus on the voice notes.
Yes.
That's what we're going with.
Yes, indeed. We'll be back with the preview of Marngrook.
Welcome back to True Bloods. Mads. Carlton.
Very good stuff last seg. I really enjoyed it.
It was good to be back on the socials.
It was very good, Deeps.
They never
disappoint.
They don't. They always come
Name
to the
one
party.
time they've disappointed.
You can't.
You can't.
Exactly right.
Carlton.
Yes.
Now, they are a team. How many wins are they on, Deebs? Sorry, question without notice.
Who knows? Who cares?
Yeah, who cares? But they've been very up and down as well.
What are they? They are in, 10th, 4 and 5.
Yeah. Our back six are going to have their work cut out for them.
It's the conundrum that we always come up against when we play them, even when we've got a fully stocked back six. So, not having no Lewis Malikan.
Have to be very accountable.
Have to be.
Very, very accountable.
Have to be. Should we see what way selection could go?
I think we need to.
Hearing from Catsy with the VFL report, they had a tough day out there at Windy Hill pre-Swans game. They went down by about 60-odd points, I think. Taylor Adams on return. I can't wait to see how he went. All right, here we go.
Mads, Deebs, faithful, doom and gloom out at Windy Hill as the Magoos copped a 10-goal hiding to the Bombers in what may be the most pox performance yet. Some shining light, however, beamed from Pistol Pete, who stood tall throughout a challenging day in the ruck. Promisingly, young Indy Kirk had a solid day amongst the company of Matty Lloyd and Benny Edwards, who tried to show the way. Taylor Adams had some limited minutes in a run, but Buller, Green, Hanley and Sid struggled to gather their composure and consistency throughout the day. Great news, however. We have extended Ned Bowman and the untried Jesse Detoli until 2027. Now, it's important to understand that the devastating injuries have highlighted that our list profile is the issue. And, by extension, it's our recruiting strategy. Now, before all the happy clapping Beatson lovers get their knickers in a twist about me calling him the biggest myth since the Yeti, I'll revert to something Mads would be all too familiar with his employment at the undisclosed Big Four bank: diminishing returns. The only one has to look at the past 5 years, and let me tell you, faithful, David Schwartz and Dane Beams would have picked more winners at Randwick and Warwick Farm than our recruiters. It's all well and good to expose the academy kids to a higher level through the VFL, but good football teams are able to absorb injury crisis through their depth with mature bodies. and a bunch of kids 60 kilos wringing wet will get you unstuck in local footy in Leongatha, let alone the AFL. But maybe that's a potty for the boys to have at a later day. That'll do. Stick fat, up the potty, up the bloods.
Thank you, Catsy.
Very good, Catsy. Full of information as always.
Correct.
It's a great addition that we came up with when Catsy came through with the VFL report. It you just sort of know what's going on in the VFL, and it's although it's much like the AFL team in terms of not getting results, it's good to hear the updates on what's going on.
Absolutely. I mean, we can't get there, so it's fantastic to know that. He has a unique take on things, and he's not afraid to call a spade, the great Catsy.
That's right.
Which we love. We are playing Carlton, and Mills is a test. Does Adams have another run?
Yes. But
yeah.
They'll be pumping up the stocks of the twos in the pre-game. What do they call that? The curtain raiser.
The curtain raiser, Deebs.
At the SCG.
Yes.
On Friday afternoon, I think. I think Taylor's probably got a full game this week, I'd say. Probably played a half on the weekend.
Limited minutes.
And then, gets the best part of 3 or 4 quarters in this week. And then if you show some form, you never know your luck. But I don't think it's necessarily walk back in. It's definitely up for discussion. I think Millsy's got to be 2 weeks in the twos.
Considering his recent history,
yeah,
it would be insanity to just throw him back in at AFL level.
It would be. It's the whole captain thing, though, isn't it? That's the only part of it where you're like, maybe there's a chance to just pick him. He's the skipper.
Could be.
It's
an important game. I mean, Wazza is correct in saying this is turned out to be the most important game of our season.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
It's really do or die.
Yeah. And you just, fingers crossed that, from our point of view, that they make the right decision with Millsy and he gets a week or two no matter what in the twos, but time will tell.
Last year, we let them kick their first 5 goals.
I remember.
And then we overran them by 52 points.
52 points. Chad went berserk.
Went absolutely ballistic.
Remember how he was toying with that guy running away from him, looking around and having a laugh?
Yeah.
That was great.
Best ever. That is far in the rearview mirror because we're going to have guys that traditionally pants Carlton for us, like Tom Papley, not there. Tom Papley loves a goal against Carlton.
Yeah. The other one up for selection.
There. Yes.
The Pirate.
Yeah, really?
Joel Marty.
Marty. Yeah, but does he come straight in?
Has to.
Yeah,
Structure.
he has to.
Has to.
He really has to. You watch and see how different we look with Joel Marty up there.
And then all the naysayers who come for Joel every time he has a down week and kicks 1 goal, and they're like, oh, Joel's no good. Watch how much he straightens us up.
Who are you dropping?
I think Hamlin goes out, Francis goes back, and
I think so. I'm picking Francis over Hamlin any day.
Yep. Yeah, in terms of
ability to go forward and back.
That's the one. Versatility.
Yep.
That's the word I was looking for.
Versatility.
Big lingual pod.
Big versatility pod as well.
You can probably tell the interesting words haven't been free-flowing this week. As I said, I had a 48-hour virus. I was on my deathbed, and I just didn't have time to pull out the thesaurus.
We can't all be using injuries as an excuse, Steve.
That's right.
All right? The best ability is availability. Get available.
And I just wasn't available.
Get available. Get available.
And look, that's probably the sole reason we lost on the weekend is because I wasn't there.
Yeah, and we are not a big superstition pod, I'll tell you that much. Oh, my ponytail was on this side of my head, so they kicked the goal. I do not subscribe to that.
Can't do that.
Yeah, you can't be doing that.
No.
If it's your fault the Swans aren't losing, that's a problem. That's a problem. Crazy.
Here's one for you, Mads.
Yes.
The form of George Hewitt.
Yes.
Does that kill you?
Yes.
Oh, mate.
I mean, it's time and a place, right, with these sort of things. It's time and a place. He was surplus to requirements at the time.
Yeah.
I think he even wants to leave Carlton, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
He went for a tour of RSCA Park.
Is that right?
Yeah.
The old St Kilda war chest.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he doesn't get to go down to Seaford They have moved back to RSEA
Yes,
Park.
Moorabbin.
But yeah, so I mean, he doesn't stay at one place too long, but he's in scintillating form.
He is.
I'm taking a George Hewitt over Sam Walsh any day,
That's right.
any day of the week, and he's somebody you have to worry about now.
Yep.
You know, he's not
Definitely.
just your dour defensive midfielder
Yeah, well,
anymore.
he's been the one doing the damage, right?
Correct.
Paddy Cripps probably not at his Brownlow best, still playing good footy, but not his Brownlow footy.
And Sammy Walsh just nowhere near as impactful as
That's right.
previous years. Now, I'm not going to put the old Andy McGrath moz on him, but we just have to go head to head with them in the midfield, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Or would you put a tag on anyone?
Look, I think you probably do. I just think JJ plays better
When he's got a role.
He's got a role.
Who would you tag then?
Well, I don't think you go with Cripps. I think
Chera?
It's Chera or Walsh.
Yep.
Walsh can get off the chain and he can kick goals. He had that good game against West Coast where he kicked 3 in the first half a few weeks ago. Gather round. That's a while ago now. But
You know who I saw play the worst game of their lives live?
who?
Nick Haynes, round 1, Richmond versus Carlton. You've never seen a bloke stink up a football field more than Nick Haynes did in that game. But he sort of worked into it.
He has.
And he's playing really good football. He was always really good. He always did well against us when he was playing for GWS.
Well, he's multiple All-Australian.
He is.
And you know what they say, Matt?
Form is temporary, class is forever.
That's right. Big sayings pod.
Big sayings pod. He somebody you have to worry about. You know, this is where our forward entry is so critical because most teams have these interceptors now, and you just can't be bombing them down. You got to lower your eyes, and hopefully having a Marty there. Although, you know, strong leading patterns has never been his strong suit. Hopefully, structurally, it's just a little bit better.
Yeah, for sure.
Who's coming to the party for yours, Deebs?
A party. Look, can't put it on Joel if he is back. Who am I inviting to the party? Lizard. Who did I invite last week?
Lizard was good last week.
Yeah, I'm going to say Lizzie. Is that 2 invites I've nailed? I think I invited him last week.
Did you? Alessi, do you remember? No.
Nah, but I reckon I've nailed 2 for 2.
Yeah, mate, I wouldn't be surprised with that footy head of yours.
That's right. But we are prone to mistakes here, and I am just reeling about Juzzy and his kicking. Like that's
got to hurt your confidence.
It does. You know, like when I'm putting the head on the pillow at night
of an evening.
the last 3 nights, I'm thinking, Juzzy, why can't you just kick the drop punts, mate? Like, please.
How's the one where he tries to go crossbody?
Oh,
it just hits the instep.
Juzzy.
He smacks the instep. Bang.
Rolls along the ground from 15 metres out. Oh, have you ever seen anything kill anything more than Juzzy going across the body and along the ground?
You know who would have?
My God.
Jason Dunster would have been spitting chips.
Just kick it in the air. Who am I inviting? I'm inviting Sammy Wicks.
Yeah. Fresh off the back of a 3-year extension.
That's right. And we can see how confident and how just what you can take and everything off the mind. And we've seen it with Chad, signs the extension, playing absolutely great footy. Same thing with Wixie. He's going to dominate. He's going to have 20 and 450 metres gained.
Does he sneak forward for a goal?
Oh, maybe.
That'd be good. Do you know who I'm inviting?
Who are you inviting?
Gussie Sheldrick.
Gus.
And he's playing a full game. And if he doesn't play a full game, he has photos of someone in the Cox family or the Pridham family or the Harley family. And they're saying, look, until you give up the photos, you're not getting the substitute vest off.
That's right.
Until maybe late in the third quarter when Ben Patton has stunk it up enough.
I think what we're really going to see this week, Mads, is if we can adjust to things going wrong in our game.
We're about looking at incremental uplift.
That's right. And it's the inside 50s. You got Mitch McGovern there, although he went off injured. I think he might be out this week.
Sure.
You've got Nick Haynes. You've got someone else who I can't even remember now. Wiedering.
Yep.
Right?
Waiters. Not great with money.
Scams?
Not great with money. If you call him, he's probably going to send you 40 grand, but he'll probably take an intercept mark.
That's right.
So, you know, you win some, you lose some, I guess.
Yeah, don't go banging the ball inside 50 like we did in that first quarter because you've got Weeders back there worrying about getting scammed. So it's really important not to put it down his
Oh,
throat.
jeez, that's funny. You know who else has got it all in front of him on
Who's
the
that?
weekend? The great Brodie Grundy.
That's
He's
right.
going up against the informed ruckman for mine, Deebs.
For yours.
In the competition, who's going to be demanding a great deal of cash at the end of this year. He's going to have it all in front of him because Tom de Koning, that is right, de Koning, isn't it, Tom?
It is, yeah.
He is the modern ruckman. He can do it all.
Yeah. And Brodie Grundy, be conscious around goals. TDK does exactly the same thing as Tom Hawkins.
Yes.
He tries to push off and take the ball from the contest and kick straight away. Be conscious of that this week, Brodie. If I see him do that easily, not going to be happy.
Yeah.
Call out.
That was unfortunately the lasting memory we have of the great Tom Hickey. not good. Man, but we just looked at each other.
We had been saying it all year against Geelong. Like, this is what Tom Hawkins does.
Yeah.
First 2 goals of the grand final. How good's this? Far out. Oh, my God, geez, we've got some scars.
We do. We're damaged.
Damaged individuals.
What do you think, Swans by how far? Are we at the point now where it's not just an automatic Swans by how far?
Oh, it goes
Or-
against, the mantra's strong. Strong.
Yeah, it has to be.
Bicey to go berserk as well. I reckon he has 25, 750
He
metres
was good
gained.
last week.
He was. Take on the game. Keep taking on the game. He knows when to go up the guts. He picks the right time.
When
Same
it's
with
your
Liz.
turn to go, you go like
You
a
go,
Zoe
son.
tomorrow.
Yeah, and I think Haynes kicks 3, 25 and 3.
That'd be good.
Schwannies get it done by 25 points, 4 goals.
Yeah, I think
For yours?
for mine, I think we get it done by 13 points in a tight tussle on a wet and slippery SCG,
CG.
regardless of whether it's been raining or not.
Freshly. Apparently, the weather up there has been insipid.
Yeah, right.
Talking to Big Andy Redden from the club.
Sure.
And he said, it has been shocking up there.
Yeah, right.
So it's lucky you haven't been up there, else you'd...
I would have been wanting
have
my
to-
money back.
Yeah, you'd have to renege all your comments previously
Unfortunately,
made. On this
I won't
podcast.
be doing any of that.
I refuse.
I
I refuse to be held accountable.
Once it comes out of my mouth, it's out there, and it's not my
and it is
responsibility.
in stone.
Yeah,
Uh,
on stone. in
On
fact.
stone. Down on the morning to Peninsula. Shout out.
Shout out Dillylicious. Has he called you back yet?
Dilly Lish, though. I haven't called him back.
Oh, you're playing a bit of phone
But
tag.
We are.
Okay.
Now tipping. I think you've taken the True Bloods rights as leading of the competition. I think
I think I have.
I'm 75th. I think I'm one back on
I'm
you now.
66th
There
now.
you go.
So that's good.
It's good for you.
It's good for me.
because you get you're a bit of a wussy boy when it comes to tipping. Like, oh, I don't even like the tipping anymore. I'm behind.
I've never said
He
that.
you see, he doesn't do it on. He does it to me though. He's like, I'm not. I don't even care about the tipping.
This
You-
is
you-
out-
man.
This is outrageous,
No, it's not.
faithful.
Big wussy boy over here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I am what my club is currently.
That's right.
So,
Thursday night footy.
oh wow, this is a good one.
Gold Coast and Hawthorn
TIO,
up in
Darwin.
Darwin. That's right.
Gold Coast.
Not the Hollywood Hawks.
Nah, I'm off them. So off them.
Yeah. I
So
tend-
off them.
I tend to agree.
Shut up, Ginnivan.
Shut up.
Our producer is a Hawthorn supporter.
That's right. Our game on Friday, Saturday. Another good game. Collingwood and Adelaide on the MCG.
You know, Collingwood only leave, what was the statistic? Only leave
Twice.
Twice.
For the rest of the year.
For the rest of the year. They only leave Melbourne twice. Alessi, twice. What are we doing here?
Nah, I don't know, mate. It's bullshit.
Oh, but Carlton only. I don't care. I'm talking about Collingwood.
I'm not
going
to gather round again.
Yeah.
I'm not going
We opt out. We opt out of opening round. We opt out. You can't do this to us. We prop up the competition. We're so powerful. We're opting out.
Collingwood?
Yeah,
Win?
Collingwood comfortably.
Saturday afternoon, Port Adelaide v Geelong, Adelaide Oval.
Geelong.
Geelong.
You? Yeah.
I think so.
GWS versus Fremantle at NG Stadium.
At the same time, what's
Yeah,
going on,
stop
man?
it.
Stop it.
Stop it.
That's why you play the Thursday night game.
Yeah, you would think that
To break it up.
that is the idea. You're meant to give everybody their opportunity to have all eyes on them.
Stop it.
And you've got stop it. You've got Port and Geelong on at the same time as GWS and Fremantle.
What's going on?
Which, you know what? At the start of the season, this is how stupid the fixturing is. The start of the season, they both would have looked like reasonably good encounters.
Yeah.
Stupid, but GWS will win.
Doggies and Essendon at
Essendon, I came out of that knowing that Essendon are B grade.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that makes us.
Yeah.
But the Western Bulldogs, for mine, Deebs,
For yours?
a premiership contender.
I tend to agree. Sunday, Richmond and North Melbourne.
North Melbourne finally going to jag a win.
Jag another one.
Yep.
Sunday, Brisbane, Melbourne.
Brisbane comfortably.
Gabba. And
Comfortably.
Grenache.
But Melbourne showed a bit against Hawks.
They did.
What do you think, Alessi? They were okay, weren't they? Melbourne?
I think it was a bit of Melbourne brought Hawthorn down to their level.
You reckon?
Kicked away.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That's what happens. Kick away, win by 6 goals.
Sainers and Weagles.
Grenache Hour. I am gonna go. This would just be very St Kilda-like to lose over there.
It would be.
I still got to tip him though, but yeah.
We sometimes do different tips with the Swans expert tippers. You know, I said that to someone the other day. I said, we also do the Swans celebrity tipping. I'm like, how lame is that? We're not even celebrities. Then I realised it's not even called the celebrity tipping. It's called expert
We're
tipping.
experts.
We're not that either. How many tickets have I got on myself? You're not a celebrity, Mr. Clark.
That's good gear. But looking forward to Friday night.
Yeah.
It's a big game for our club.
Get to the ground.
Yeah, Marngrook. The Atmos will be there. The Indigenous will be there entertaining pre-game. It's always really good to see and a great what's it called?
Spectacle.
Spectacle. See, took the words right out of my mouth. You've nailed it there, Mads. So I'm really looking forward to getting cracked in after work. Looking forward to it on Friday.
Let's go.
That's right. Closing words from you, Clarko?
Oh, just lower your eyes, kick 6-point goals.
Anything for Juzzy, personally?
I wonder if they'd talk to him about... Anyway, that's it for another pod. I wonder if they'd talk to him about his ball drop. I think he can't fix that now, right?
Not now. Not after he was a top 5 player in a grand final.
Yeah, not after he's used to sort of intercepting the ball and kicking us into a grand final in 2022.
Well, I've got his number. I might just call him and ask him. Let's not hypothesize. Let's just ask. We'll go with
but look, this has been True Bloods.
We are the number 1 independent Sydney Swans fan podcast. We are number 1 in the hearts, and we're number 1 on the charts. We're speaking words of wisdom
Up the potty.